Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from the title, we are back finally to talk about the Love is Blind season 10 reunion. We're honestly just gonna get straight into it. I'm not even gonna really do much of an intro. Obviously, like the video if you enjoyed the video, subscribe, turn on post notifications, do all of the stuff. You know the things already. So the first thing I want to speak about is Mike and Emma. I actually didn't write any notes here in my notes app while I was watching it. But now thinking back to the reunion, I was kind of perplexed at Emma saying that her saying yes at the altar was essentially her saying that she is ready to have a family with Michael. Like that's her saying yes to the idea of children. And I just kind of was a bit confused when she said that. Even Mike was confused too. He was like, no, I didn't take that as you saying you're ready for kids. And I didn't either. Like, I'm sorry, Emma, I'm still not believing you. Like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you that you're ready for kids. I think that you are like trying to attach yourself to this guy because I don't know, there's some sort of like idea that like he's associated with like some better version of life. Like, I don't know. I'm still not understanding where this great connection was between them. I'm just confused. And even at the reunion, what's his name? Mike soft launched, not even soft launched, he hard launched his new relationship or whatever with this lady who he's apparently been with for 7 months, which I thought was interesting because apparently they filmed the weddings last April, I think. So you moved on pretty quickly. So it's just like, again, like, I don't really understand from Emma's perspective. Maybe there's stuff they left out of their day, I'm not sure, but I'm just kind of confused. Her saying that she was ready to have a family with him. Why? Like, I just don't. I didn't even say this as well in my other reviews, but I also didn't really like Mike's family or the way that they approached Emma. I just thought it was kind of weird. They kind of just kept pushing this whole idea that yeah, you need to make sure that you're ready for children. Even his sister butted in and was like, oh yeah, well, we as kids grew up with our cousins and family friends or whatever, or siblings, and we all spent time with each other and like grew up together as kids and all that, and we want that for our children, so we need Mike to be with somebody who wants children. And I just thought it's weird. It's like he's introducing you to his fiance and you're saying, yeah, we need this. You're basically trying to push her to say that, yes, I'll have children. I'll push out babies for this guy. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I didn't really like it. They were going on about their tagliatelle and being Italian. Like, I don't know. The family was just kind of obnoxious. I'm even confused why Emma was so eager to go there. So the first note that I have here is about Amber and Jordan. First off, guys, did I not predict it? Amber and Jordan are not together. I'm not surprised. I'm literally not surprised. Fork Family Kitchen. That relationship was not giving stable. It wasn't giving stable. I'm not shocked at all that they are not together. Like, I'm not shocked. I honestly just don't think that Amber is ready for a relationship. On top of that, there was a part where she spoke about the breakdown of their relationship. Well, actually, Jordan first has spoken about how Amber was low-key being verbally abusive to him, which I thought was and I also was paying attention to Amber's reactions when Jordan was saying this, and I noticed that she wasn't really doing any sort of facial expressions, and she also didn't butt in or interject whatsoever when he was saying that, which leads me to believe that is true, that he's not telling any lies there, which is not good because that's already confirming the idea that I had anyways, that this is some sort of toxic situation or relationship, right? And I just think that Emma, honestly, she has a lot of healing that she needs to do. She has a lot of healing she needs to do. That's past her and traumas that were clearly being brought into this relationship. I mean, Jordan even spoke about how he felt like he was constantly having to try to prove to Emma that he's not this bad guy and that he's different from these other men that she's dated or entertained. And I just thought that was kind of sad, honestly. Honestly, the whole situation was kind of confusing to me. And then let's also get into what Emma said about Jordan apparently not wanting to move to live in Mount Vernon. I think that's where she lives. First off, Jordan did mention that he didn't want to live in this Mount Vernon place. So I'm not sure how much I can really be upset at that because Emma already knew that information. So if that wasn't I'm saying Emma, sorry, that's the name of her daughter, Amber. Amber already knew that, so if that wasn't something that was going to be negotiable for her, then she shouldn't have said yes. I'm still confused as to why Amber said yes, honestly. He apparently wanted to be close to the clubs and the pub and the bar and whatever and all of that, like be in the city. And Amber was I keep saying Emma. Amber was just kind of confused as to why he felt so why he felt that he needed to be in this particular location so bad, because obviously it's like if you're married and you love your wife, you want to spend time with her, you want to be around. And then there was also a whole thing of how they were apparently supposed to be agreeing to see each other weekly. So that didn't really come to fruition. I think they only actually stayed together for 4 months. But apparently Jordan had only come down to Mount Vernon to stay with or visit Amber like twice, which I thought was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can't Jordan, I'm not sure if I can defend you on that one, but I don't know. Again, he did say that they went to 3 wedding receptions together, and her behavior was quite toxic. So I'm not sure. Maybe the only seeing her twice thing came as a reaction to that. But then Jordan also said that Amber didn't really make much effort to see him either. So I just feel like both of them already had emotionally checked out of the relationship. But I think Amber also, again, like, it's this fearful avoidance thing where it's like you're not really creating the space or the room for you lot's intimacy to grow, but then it's like at the same time she's still attached to him, which is why when he ended the relationship, and specifically the way that he didn't really speak to Amber's daughter about their breakup either, or say goodbye. I think that's what made it worse for her. I guess Jordan already felt like this relationship wasn't really worth fighting for anymore, but I guess Amber also kind of still, her ego was still kind of bruised a little bit, and maybe also her feelings a little bit. But it also was kind of like a hit to her too, because it's like you're giving up on me and then also you've hurt my child in the process. And I do understand that, because I do think it's sad that Amber's daughter was like trying to write letters to get Jordan to come back. Like, that's so sad. Like, I feel really bad for her. But I do have to say, even though it is messed up that Jordan didn't say goodbye to this girl, I also think that at the end of the day, Amber, it is your job as Emma's mother to protect your daughter. You should be protecting her from these kinds of things. Like, this is why personally, in my opinion, I don't think that single parents should be on this show. Whether you're a man or a woman, I don't think that if you have children already, you should be on the show. That's just my personal opinion. Maybe if your child is like reaching the late teenage stages, but if your child is like in their formative years, like I just personally don't think that this is the kind of dating show that you should be on. Like, of course, people who have kids or like single parents deserve love too, but this experiment does not constitute that. This has now given the daughter a bunch of unnecessary trauma, where it's just like this idea that a man can say that he loves you and he really wants to stay and whatever, and then he can just leave the next second. She could have been spared that. She could have been spared that heartache and that trauma. So I do have to kind of look at Amber a bit and be like, what's going on there? Because I kind of feel like she put the onus on Jordan to carry that emotional baggage of that, when it's like, that's your daughter though. There was a moment where Amber kind of got overwhelmed, or she was overcome with like emotion, so she actually like stormed out of the set. And then when she came back, her and Jordan were kind of like reconciling, I guess. And she was like saying like that she doesn't believe Jordan is a bad guy and whatever. And then she turned back to Chris, because she was like saying, oh well, like you're a good guy, like you're not a bad person, you're not like a Chris. And then she turned to Chris and she just started tearing into him. Like, she ate him up, honestly. She was like, you're like the reason why women don't trust men, like you're just a piece of shit, like da da da. And it was so funny because, period, give him his lashings, give Rumpelstiltskin his lashings, because I'm sorry, he really played in everyone's faces. He played in everyone's faces and he was a prick for no reason. So respectfully, I'm here for the lashings. I'm here for the lashings. And one thing that pissed me off was that when Amber was giving Chris his very much deserved lashings, Alex was there scoffing like and like, you know, scowling and scrunching his face. And I'm like, what are you doing them faces for? He is deserved. Like, it's actually deserved. But like, bro, like, who are you? Like, I know you're not talking. I know you're not getting angry because we can tag team. We can tag team and include you too because you can get your lashings also, Mr. Swindler. Like, please. Next, let's talk about Brie and Connor. This situation, I'm not even gonna call it a relationship because honestly, this is a humiliation ritual. Like, I'm sorry, this is propaganda that I'm not falling for, that Brie and Connor are some sort of OTP, whatever, and like this is the, you know, love story, like, you know, they're just taking a different path. No. Nah, I'm sorry. The way Brie acts, like, I'm sorry, I do not like this woman. I don't like her, and I'll get further on into the review and explain why I do not like her. I think she is a nasty person. Like, that's just my personal opinion based on what has been showed in this show. I don't think she's a nice person. That is my personal opinion. And the fact that her and Connor are still together and he actually left his house, the house that he bought, as in he was a homeowner. He moved into an apartment next door to this woman in order to live next to her. Okay.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Like, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. I just do not understand. I don't understand. It's not making sense to me. It is not making sense to me. I honestly, like, Connor is very, like, you reek of desperation. Like, this actually, I hate using the word simp behavior. Apparently he even called himself simp in like one of these interviews or whatever, something like that, or promo for the show. He was calling himself a simp. But this is actually simp behavior. Like, seriously. Because this woman has not, what has she done for you? Seriously, like, can we actually know? What has she done for you? Genuinely. All she does is talk down to you, neg you, make you seem like, I don't know, beneath her, like something. It's just really weird. Like, she does not, even at this reunion, yeah, she tried trying to do, like, you know, the nice PR answers, but even then there's no soul behind anything that you're saying. Like, nothing you're saying feels real. Everything feels like a performance. Like, it feels like a performance, like you're trying to do damage control. You're trying to do damage control. Honestly, I think Brie is just with Connor because she knows in reality he is like the first man that she's met who's actually been like, yeah, I'll love you at your worst. I'll love you at your I'll love you at rock bottom. I don't care. Like, you are a pearl and a clam to me. Like, literally, he don't care. He does not care. She could tell him to go kick rocks with open toe shoes and he would say gladly. Like, that's literally the energy of the relationship. And I mean, to a certain extent, I can't really care too much because Connor, he's consenting to being in that situation. But it's like, at the same time, still, I just don't like how basically this power trip that she's on is being affirmed. Like, literally, I feel like Connor is just giving her this unnecessary ego boost. Like, she's already very egotistical, very attention seeking. And then it's like this guy is just basically like a dog on a leash for her. It's just. And then even then, like, the way that she described the house to you, Connor's place, the apartment that he got next door, she was saying, "Oh, we call it the basement." What? What? Everything, somehow every joke is disparaging towards him, and Connor's just there.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Like, I don't understand. I don't understand. I guess it's egg on Chris's face because he was saying, "Oh, there's no way that Brie would ever be with a guy like Connor. Like, Connor's just not it for you." So I don't know. Maybe she's trying to just prove people wrong by being with him too. But I don't see no longevity in that relationship, respectfully. Also, there was a part where they got into Brie and her situation with Chris. You know how she was talking about, oh, I need a do-over, I need a do-over with Chris. How she was like, oh, I need closure, whatever from that situation. And Nick and Vanessa were asking her about the moment where they were at the bar and Chris was just basically slagging off Connor. Like there was even a segment where they asked Connor like, how do you feel about Chris slagging you off and all of that? And he was just like, yeah, I honestly just I don't have any words for him. Like he doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care about him. But then they asked Brie what her opinion was and they asked her specifically why she was entertaining Chris for so long, why that conversation at the bar went on for so long. And I just thought her explanation for it was very interesting because she was saying basically, oh, everything was happening so fast, like he was really just flipping a switch in real time, and I didn't know what to say, I didn't know what to do. You were actively flirting with him though. Like he was actively chatting you up and you were eating it up. So I'm not sure if I'm buying this whole thing of, oh, I was just in too much shock and whatever. Shock of what? Like, I'm sorry. She was so excited. She was so excited. You're not going to convince me that you didn't enjoy that attention. And even then at this reunion, other information when we get to Devontae and Brittany's delusional self, once we get into that, you will see even more this attention-seeking behavior that she has, or these tendencies. It's just a consistent part of your character. That's just who you are. So I'm not buying this whole, oh yeah, with Chris, it was just, I just didn't know what to do or whatever. And that really pissed me off too, because it's like, he just ended his situation with Jessica too, and it's like, you're entertaining this guy who really shouldn't be getting the time of day from anyone, considering how he did another woman who you lot claim is somebody that you're friends with or you at least respect. Even if someone ain't my friend or my best friend, if I find out that they've been done dirty by their ex-partner, then the ex-partner is trying to chat to me after or try and talk about, yeah, I just couldn't do it because like I need to be attracted to this person like when we're naked, and like I need our sex life to be good and basically like subbing her. That's so weird. That is so weird. But Brie was enjoying every moment of it. Even Ashley and Priyanka as well, who were both there. I don't even know why that conversation went on for so long. You lot shouldn't have even been hearing him out on nothing. You should have stopped him in his tracks right there. No, respectfully, you're not about to downplay Jessica's beauty, yeah? If you weren't attracted to her, that's fine, but we don't need to hear your extensive reasoning for why you think she's not good enough. She is good enough. You just aren't for her. But basically, after the whole Brie talking about Chris and, I just didn't see it coming and whatever, it was just very left field. There was kind of just a whole segment where Nick had asked Chris, as a man, how does it feel to look back on that footage and see how you acted, and do you have anything to say? And in that moment, he kind of just went silent. Like he didn't say anything. I don't know if it was just because of like the shock, or he was actually genuinely embarrassed. Like he felt humiliated in that moment. But when Nick had asked him, do you have anything to say? Which obviously is a cue that, hey, maybe you should apologize to the people who you offended or you betrayed. He kind of just stood there and froze, and then Nick kind of had to be like, yeah, like anything to say to Connor in particular. And then Chris was kind of led to making this apology to Connor. And I just thought it was weird that he had to be prompted to do so. Like, you don't just feel bad about doing your friend like that. Like, Connor literally talked about how him and Chris were guys in the pods. Like, they were like this locked in. They both were super close. And then it's like he did that during the show, like during the experiment or whatever. Like, that's a deep betrayal. It is. So it's like the fact that Chris's dad self didn't feel like he needed to apologize until Nick basically told him. I thought that was weird. Like when I was watching it, I was just kind of like, wow, like somebody who you called your friend, your boy, that's how you're doing him. Okay. So then they kind of segued into asking him about his connection with Jessica, how that went so downhill. And they were basically asking him if physical attraction was a big factor or was the main factor for why he ended the situation with Jessica. And I thought it was weird how he was saying that there was no doubts about the physical chemistry between him and Jess, because he was actively telling everybody, like, again, referencing the moment with Ashley, Brie, and Priyanka, he was going on to bare people, basically everybody at that bloody mixer, talking about, yeah, I need physical attraction, I need it in a relationship, like, it just has to be strong in a relationship, I can't force it, I can't force the attraction. So what are you saying? You're saying the quiet part out loud, which is that you don't think Jess is good looking. You're not attracted to her. You don't think she's attractive. Like, the way he was speaking about her, like, it gave like, oh, I'm slumming it with Jess or something. Like, I just had to force myself to be attracted to this box troll. Like, that's what he was talking like. And then it's just like he kept talking about, oh, there was no doubt about the physical attraction in the relationship. Yes, there was. What are you talking about? You didn't think she's good looking. You don't think that she's beautiful. And she is beautiful, but you didn't think so. Like, just be honest. Just be honest. Even now, you still can't be honest. That stupid Pilates excuse or whatever that you use. I think the fact that she was older, more accomplished in life, and then Chris is nowhere near that, he felt very inferior. And you are. Considering how you act, the kind of person that you present yourself to be, you are inferior to her. Jess is everything. She's a great person. She get money. She look good. Her body tea. Like, you are inferior to her. You felt that, and then you tried to scapegoat her physical appearance or whatever as the reason why. No, you feel insecure because you're a dad. That's just the reason, and that's the real reason why. So then they showed the clip of Chris talking to Priyanka, Brie, and Ashley at the bar. And Ashley was just basically talking about how she didn't realize how bad the footage was, or what he was saying was like she heard about it from other people, but she didn't know the full extent of it. So seeing it at the reunion on the screen was hard for her to watch. And she was basically just talking about how it wasn't particularly what Chris said hurt her the most. It was the fact that the people, Brie, Priyanka, and Ashley, the people who she thought she was friends with, basically sat there and like barely defended her. And I fully agreed with her, because even when I was watching it back when that moment happened in the show, I was confused also why they were entertaining or letting Chris go on for so long. Ashley tried to apologize and be like, honestly, like, you know, Jess, I'm so sorry. Like, I should have spoken up for you more and da da da. And I mean, fair enough. But the fact that Brie and Priyanka just sat there, they didn't say shit. Like, as after Ashley said this apology, nothing from Brie. That's why, like Brie, you're a bitch. Like, I'm sorry, you are. You are. Very rarely do I ever call other women like a bitch, or like you're a mean bitch or da da whatever. But like Brie is actually a bitch, genuinely. Like that catty, nasty behavior of like, you have been so conquered by misogyny and patriarchy that now you take it out on other women. And clearly in your behavior in this moment too, you couldn't even have the decency to apologize to somebody that you said was your friend. You're a bitch. Like, I'm sorry, you are. Now let's get into Alex and Ashley, because this part of the reunion, like these two, I'm sorry, like, they don't even like each other. Like, they actually hate each other. They cannot stand each other. So I'm actually so confused onto how they even made it to the altar. Like, you two checked out of this relationship time ago, because the way that they talk about past events, whatever, it's like with so much contempt. Like, I don't know, like they don't even like each other at all. They start off with asking Alex about some of his, because basically the reason why Alex and Ashley didn't work out is obviously because Alex has a tendency to lie. So Nick and Vanessa were basically asking him, well, actually it was Nick, he was asking him about some of these lies and like inconsistencies that he told Ashley and all of that. And basically Nick was trying to go into that, like saying, you know, some of the dates weren't lining up, whatever. And he was kind of like trying to ask further to verify or like clarify things. And the way that Alex's demeanor shifted was very disturbing. Again, this like huge contempt and like anger that takes over him whenever somebody is questioning him about his lies. he turned into a demon. Like, I'm sorry, he was so sassy, so catty, like very snappy at Nick, and I thought it was very disturbing. I'm sorry, it was the same snappiness that he showed towards Priyanka. Like, all of a sudden, he just turns into this very nasty individual, and I'm sorry, his energy is dark. Like, I'm sorry, he is dark-sided. Like, I don't know what it is, but something about that man does not sit well in my spirit. I just can't. I can't. Like, I'm sorry, his energy is off. His energy is off. I don't like him. I don't like him. Like, the audacity for you to be getting like that, letting yourself get that riled up to the host at the reunion. Like, you fear nothing. You fear nothing. Next, they kind of go into Ashley and they ask Ashley why she decided to wait until the altar and why she did her speech at the altar and cut Chris off from going first to say I do or not. And she was just basically talking about how she didn't really care about his opinion or his answer. Like, she just wanted to be able to do that for herself and say, no, I'm actually choosing myself. I don't care about what your answer is because I already know mine. And I know that you're not the person for me. And I guess it was like basically supposed to be some sort of cathartic thing for her. And basically, she was just talking about how like unaligned her and Alex are, how they just don't make any sense together whatsoever. And then Alex kind of, I don't know if he was prompted to or he just did it like as a response or rebuttal to whatever Ashley was saying. But there was a part where he said that, no, actually, they had questioned him and asked him, I think it was Nick or Vanessa who had asked him, what were you here in this experiment for? Because I think Ashley had actually said she doesn't feel like Alex was here to find a wife because I guess he just wasn't moving like he was really ready to make any sort of real commitment. Yeah, Nick and Vanessa, one of them asked him, what were you actually here for then in this experiment? And Alex's response was that I was here to find a wife, like, because they asked him, were you here to find a wife? Like, why'd you come in this experiment? And he was like, yeah, I was here to find a wife. I didn't see any. And I thought that was such a strange comment to make. Like, mind you, Ashley is right next to him. Again, he fears nothing. Dark-sided. You are dark. Like, his energy is dark. I don't like that, man. Like, I'm sorry. For him to say that, I didn't see any. And he was the same guy who was getting upset that his integrity was called into question. Because weren't you the same one who was saying at the reveals and all that, oh, she's stunning, she's beautiful, yeah, I want a future with you, I see a family with you, all these things, like, oh, I'm gonna commit. And then you say this, oh, I didn't see any wife. So then why did you wait until the altar to deny her then? You're a liar, like, stop lying, stop lying. And also, one thing that I want to talk about too is I thought that Ashley's energy in terms of talking about why Alex and her didn't work out, I feel like she was so fixated on this whole thing of Alex being attracted to darker features or the fact that she was blonde and blonde isn't his type. And I feel like Ashley, I'm not gonna lie, Ashley reminds me of those kinds of women who are used to being the preference or whatever, like, as because she's, she's white, whatever, MAGA, like, in those communities, right, she is supposed to be the standard, like, she's what most of these guys are, like, having wet dreams about or whatever. And I think for her, she found a guy who she thought on paper should be aligned with her, should like her, and found out that you're not his type. Like, you're not actually what he wants. And I think for her, she just still cannot fathom that. Like, even now, after this, and, she's like, oh, I don't care anymore, I've moved on, girl power, whatever. She is still hurt by that. She still cannot handle, like, her ego is still bruised from the fact that this man is like, yeah, I'm just not attracted to you enough. Like, she can't believe it. And I mean, I can understand that to a certain extent, because at the honeymoon, you guys were fucking all over the place. Like, I get it. But at the same time, a man wanting to have sex with you does not mean that he likes you. Men have sex with women that they don't like all the time. they have sex with women that they aren't really attracted to all the time. Like, you haven't heard of the guys who talk about, oh, I don't care if her face is a 0 out of 10. We'll just put a plastic bag over her head. I'm not shocked. I am not shocked that a MAGA man has the gumption to performatively or overcompensate by having sex excessively with a fiance that he's not actually attracted to at the honeymoon. I'm not shocked that he would do that. It's actually well within his character. So I feel like she needs to get over that. I'm sorry. Yes, you're not his type. He doesn't want a blonde. It is what it is. Like, I don't know. I feel like she's still so hung up on that. But I feel like they both have this like animosity and resentment towards each other. It's just kind of awkward. And it's like they were trying to bust jokes in between the reunion or whatever. And I'm just like, you lot don't rate each other, like allow it. You don't rate each other. Let's get into Brittany and Devontae now, because Brittany and Devontae, this situation. So basically, Brittany was obviously they are not together. We knew that. But Brittany was basically talking about how, you know, she was under the assumption that after they left, they were still going to be together and all that. Don't know why, because he did not give you, like, can you give me one quote from that day that said, I'm still going to be with you, I'm still making this commitment to you, I still want to do life with you? Give me one quote that is along the lines of that came from Devontae. She won't be able to, because she made it up. You are making things up. The delusion is actually so scary, seriously. But anyway, she was like, I was under the assumption that we were still going to be together. She said that like 2 weeks into them, you know, leaving the experiment, that I think he was living in another city or another state or something. You don't even know where he is for real, and you're talking about a committed relationship. Okay. But yeah, she was basically saying that he wasn't living with her, and then 2 weeks into them being together, he apparently said he was going on some sort of work trip. This work trip now, and also she was saying that in between this time when they were still dating, I guess, he was like, his communication was trash. Shocker. Like, fork found in the kitchen. His communication wasn't good when you lot were in person. Why would it improve when you're not like physically together? So he wasn't really like consistently texting or responding or whatever. And I guess it got to a point where she was saying, if you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, tell me. Brittany, I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you will find out that with a lot of men, actually, a lot of them do not have the gumption. They are too pussy to make the decision. They will not. They will gladly, in order to maintain their whatever dignity they think they have, they don't have any, by the way. If you do this, you don't have any dignity. I'm here to tell you that. They do this whole thing of maintaining their dignity by just dragging the situation on. So they don't actually have to admit the truth, which is that they want to avoid an uncomfortable situation because they are too chicken to do it. They can't have an uncomfortable conversation because they're a child, basically. So they will avoid that uncomfortable conversation of saying, yeah, I don't really like you, don't really want to be with you anymore, whatever. They're not going to do it. They will let you continue to let your delusion carry you till that kingdom come.
Don't laugh. You can't laugh.
Until you finally get tired and you're like, I'm getting nothing. I'm getting nothing. You never were getting anything, but now you finally have lifted the veil and can see that you will never get anything out of this situation. Unfortunately, it was a thing where you had to end it, or you would have to wake up and smell the fucking coffee. Because I'm sorry, Devontae, he don't even care. Like, he does not care what you do. You could die tomorrow. He don't give a fuck. He's gonna keep living his life, continue cheating, piping whoever, going to concerts with fucking Brie and Priyanka and Amanda Ashley. Like, please. Like, is there no one in your life who is reading your text with nothing? No one you can confide in who is like, hey, this ain't it. This is not it. She was there for so long. You wasted so much of your time, honestly. I don't even remember how she said that the relationship between them ended. But apparently now let's get into this work trip thing. So 2 weeks after they've left the experiment, whatever, he's now telling her that he's going on a work trip. Then she finds out from Amber that apparently he actually went to another city or whatever to go to a concert, and he stayed with Priyanka, Bree, and Ashley. And apparently at the time they were still together, she was still wearing her engagement ring, but they all used the excuse of, oh well, we didn't know that you lot were still together. When we asked Devonte if he had ended things, he had told us yeah, and that Brittany knew that he was here with us and all of that, even though that wasn't the truth. And again, I get that men can lie, but you lot, first off, the thing that makes this situation worse is the fact that they claim that they're Britney's friends. So it's like, again, you're not in communication regularly enough to know what's tea. That's your friend, allegedly. You're not in communication regularly enough with her to know whether she's still in a relationship with this guy or not. Instead, you're having to ask the guy. Like, it makes no sense. And again, Brie and Ashley, because Priyanka was in the audience saying, no, I'm not really friends with Brittany like that. Okay, whatever. But even then, I still think it's weird because her whole excuse for Devonte sleeping in her house or whatever, staying in her house to sleep over, because apparently he was trying to book an Airbnb and the booking didn't go through or got cancelled or whatever, so he needed someone to stay. And then Priyanka was talking about, well, his booking got cancelled, I don't know where else he can go, he can't just stay out on the street. There's no hotels. There's no hotel he can go to. He must sleep in your place. A man who is still engaged or entangled with delusions of grandeur. Delusions of grandeur is Brittany, by the way. He's still entangled with somebody, or he's still got something going on, and you are letting him sleep in your place. For what? Now, I'm sorry, that's not even your friend. You're not even friends with him like that. Like, I'm sorry, allow it. Allow it. Priyanka, you are not friends with Devonte like that. Allow it. Talking about, oh yeah, you can stay in my place. Of course I'd give him a place to stay. Who are you? Like, I'm sorry. No. And then Ashley and Brie talking about yeah, Devonte told us that you guys aren't together. But you guys couldn't have verified or confirmed by asking Brittany. Why are you asking Devonte? Why are you asking Devonte? Like, again, why are you giving Devonte benefit of the doubt? I don't know. Were they not there at the honeymoon weather with them? They weren't hearing things about these two's relationship, how Devonte was being avoidant, all of these things. You don't think that it's within his character to possibly lie? I'm not believing anything that comes out of that guy's mouth. You lot should have asked Brittany. In fact, your first instinct should have been to ask Brittany, because that's your friend. You're not as close to Devonte as you are Brittany. Allegedly. At least on Ashley's part. You are not as close with Devonte as you are Brittany, or at that time you weren't as close to Devonte as you were Brittany. Brie, and then you got Brie trying to say, oh, diva, my God, diva, whatever. You're a beg. Like, I'm sorry, you're a beg. You enjoyed that. You enjoyed being able to deceive another woman and have, be what's the word, sneaking around with another man, even though she wasn't sleeping with him or nothing. But like, you enjoyed that whole thing of like causing another woman distress through lies and whatever, and being like, oh well, I didn't know, I was just here to have fun, whatever. And you know what's even worse is the fact that they asked Connor, oh, did you know anything about this trip or whatever? And Connor was like, oh, I thought it was a girls trip. So again, Bree's dad ass is not even telling her own man that she's going on a trip, whatever, into another city with Devonte. Like, what? What business do you have being on a girls trip with Devonte? Because you originally said that it was a girls trip. Now you guys, that's the thing as well, because Nick was asking how did Devonte end up getting on this trip, and Devonte had actually said that him and Bree went to dinner. Bree again, always at this scene of the crime. Him and Bree were having dinner, and she decided to tell Devonte Devo that they were going to this concert or whatever, and then he was saying, yeah, I love that artist, and then they were like, oh yeah, she was like, oh yeah, you can come. Them girls that be like, the friendship group is planning a girls trip, and then she'll be like, can I bring my man? That is Brie. Brie, you male identified dud, you male centered dud. Like, I'm sorry, I don't like this woman at all. I don't like this woman. And again, at this point, she did not apologize. Nothing. All she did was make her excuses. Oh, well, Devontae told us this. Devontae said this. Devontae said that. You idiot. Why are you taking Devontae's word for it? Why are you taking Devontae's word for it without asking Brittany? You're stupid. You are stupid, and you think that we're all dumb enough to believe what you're saying. You're stupid. We're not falling for that. We're not falling for your propaganda. In this moment, she didn't apologize. No apology to Brittany whatsoever. Terrible person. You are a bad person. I don't like this woman. She's nasty. You are nasty, male-centered, male-identified. Go away. There was a segment towards the end where Brittany's dad was trying to preach some sermon or whatever to Devontae, which I just thought was cringe because Devontae don't give a fuck. He's heart soft launch or whatever at the reunion that he is now engaged and expecting a baby. Some women that he's been dating for, again, the 7 months. I don't do these men 7 months. Your relationship has been 7 months. You were cheating. You were cheating. Like, you're not freshly out of a relationship and finding someone that quickly. You cheated. Anyways, but yeah, he's soft launching that he's engaged and got a kid on the way. Like, he don't give a fuck about this question that you're asking. He was asking Devontae, are you ready to marry my daughter? That's not even in the equation no more. Like, he don't care. He does not care. He never did care. And as a father, I don't know how you never saw that. Even when he came over to your house, you didn't ask him no important questions. Like, I'm sorry, that dad, you failed to protect your daughter when it mattered. You did all the protecting after she's already experienced the trenches. She's already gone in. The lashings that you're giving him now doesn't matter. It's null and void. Honestly, this entire season, throw it away. Throw away the cast. I don't want to see anybody. If they ever go on Perfect Match, wherever, I'm not fucking watching. These people are annoying. I don't like any of them. They can all go home. Go home. Go back to Magaland. Thank you. Anyways, that's the end of this review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I've been filming for almost an hour and a half now. But yeah, I'm going to go chill now. I'm gonna go chill. It's been a long day. I will probably be taking a week break from uploading just for now because I need to like recalibrate and whatever, and I don't know, I've just been feeling kind of like exhausted with like the editing back to back and everything. But yeah, I'll be back the week after the week I put this out. So yeah, I'll be back after next week. I hope you enjoyed. As I said before, like the video if you enjoyed the video, subscribe down below, turn on the post notifications so that you don't miss an upload from me, and watch some of my other videos as well if you want to, if you're new here. And yeah, I'll see you guys for my next upload next time. Bye.